Hello there, you guys, and welcome to a new video. So, over the past couple of weeks, ever since the beginning of June, I know I haven't filmed much. And the main reason for having not filmed very much is going to be more talked about in a video that I'm planning on filming this weekend. But I'll just sort of sum up the video for you now. Give one sentence. For me, is I have a new job, and it's different from my previous job in the main fact that it's full-time. I'm working 40 hours a week. It's a lot working a full-time job, having not worked a full-time job in the past with benefits. You know, I'm there for like 8-9 hours day, Monday through Friday. It's a lot having a full-time job, and filming has gone out the window. And when it came to the weekends in June, I did absolutely nothing. Where I would do things, I'd forget to turn on the camera, I'd forget to do this, I'd forget to do that. And it was a lot, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I did kind of drop off the rails last month or two, but I knew that I was going to. And I knew that my video content was going to decrease for the month since I'm still kind of learning the ropes and getting, used to having this, full-time job. But I will go into the full-time job in another video. However, what that means from probably here going forward is I'm going to do what's called a weekend reading vlog instead of a weekly reading vlog, unless I have off the full week. Then if I have off the full week from work, which I have one coming up hopefully in August, I will vlog. But that one's going to be also hard for me to do because I'll be up north and we don't have really internet service up there. I'm going to have to film a lot of it on my phone. I'll think about it. We'll think about how I can update reading vlogs and stuff on the weekend and during the week of vacation off north. But from here on out, it's most likely going to be weekend reading vlogs. So I'm going to try to pull out the camera more and talk more about what I'm reading. But in front of probably every weekend reading vlog, we're going to have a wrap-up of what I've been able to read so far from the time I'm not filming. Because I'm not going to, just read on the weekend because I can't sit and focus on one thing for too long. I have to jump around between things, so I can't just sit and read all day. At the front of every weekend reading vlog, I'm going to give you guys a wrap-up as to what I read since I last turned the camera on for an update. And I do then promise, if I get book mail, then I will open up packages and stuff in front of you guys. So if I do that, then I will, and we'll just throw in the clip. So, with that being said, let's give you guys some reading updates. So, during this past week/weekend, I finished one book, and I am almost 100 pages into a second book. So I finished this coming past week my second book of July. The book that I picked up starting this past weekend and have finished this week is Thunderhead by Neal Schusterman. This is the second book in the Arc of Scythe trilogy. I read the first book back in February, and I gave this book 5 stars. I can't remember which prompt this is for on my TBR. It's either to read... This is favorite author. This is to fit the prompt to read favorite author. You know, I did like this book. I gave it an 8 for characters, from the last book, characters have changed, which is interesting. And, I gave the characters an 8. There was a character in here that I didn't particularly like, named Grayson. I kind of felt a little indecisive about him. He kind of did have, like, a point in the story, but then he kind of really didn't. Also, compared to the last book, I found this book to be a little bit more confusing. So, this book is about, of course, the Thunderhead, which is the AI of this dystopia, and I found out that I don't really like the AI. I mean, I can see why they need it, but why I don't like it. So that's why I kind of gave it an 8 for characters. I gave it a 9 for atmosphere. The atmosphere is still great. It takes place in what is future US. I like the whole concept and the idea behind immortality. It's really interesting to explore, and I'm glad there's, a book series out there that deals with the fact. And I was talking to my parents this weekend, and, this society it's similar to, what society could be like in the future. So it's why I really like this, and that's why I gave the writing a 10. I gave it an 8 for plot. Kind of felt like the plot was sort of mediocre compared to the last book, where it fell into middle book syndrome, and I'm very sorry that it fell into middle book syndrome. And I could tell that it did, where there was a plot, but it wasn't really like action packed, except for maybe the last 50-ish pages were filled with more action, but I could tell what was going to happen, and I'm kind of on the weary side for the third book, which hopefully I'll get to soon, so I can actually finish the series this month instead of just start series. I gave this book a 9 for intrigue. It didn't have as high of an intrigue as the first book did, but there was still intrigue. Sort of the last 50 pages. If the last 50 pages had more of a better, plot and action and more intrigue, then I know. But since I'm starting to, feel for these characters and understand these characters, my intrigue drops because I'm very intuitive. And my intrigue drops. That's also why I gave Logic a 9, and I gave Enjoyment a 9. So overall, it got an 8.86 out of 10, which is a 4-star. So it's a fairly high 4-star rating. I will give it that. I'm excited to have read this book. I did read it physically, as you can tell. I don't care what happens to my books in terms of, quality that's left after I read them, because that tells me I've read the book. And depending on how well it's, worn, it tells me how well I love the book and how many times I've read it. So I have a couple books that are really like that. So it got a little tattered and bent, so that's totally fine with me. So I did finish that book this past week, and then since then I have picked up, we probably can't see it, but I have since picked up With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. This book, I'm about roughly 80 pages into this book, and I'm actually really enjoying it so far. This book is to fulfill the prompt to read a book with food on the cover. And you probably can't tell since I'm reading it off my Kindle, since the only other way I could read it is audiobooks, and I only really listen to thrillers and mysteries on audiobook. I don't read any other book format on audio besides thrillers and mysteries. And this book is a contemporary book, so, had to read it with my own eyes, or else I don't understand. And it has papayas and oranges and flowers on the cover, so there's fruit on the cover for this book. It's really nice, it's sweet and wholesome. It's about this young 17, 18-year-old girl who lives in Philadelphia. She's Latinx, Latin American. She's half American, half Puerto Rican, which I do like Puerto Rican culture. So I do like the culture. There are food recipes in here, which, oh yes, sound delicious, and I would love to try them. And she cooks the way sort of like how my mother types the cook, which is like no actual measurements and just kind of throws in ingredients and time. They all sound so good. She's senior in high school but has a kid, so it's kind of more wholesome and down to earth, and she wants to be a chef. And it kind of reminds me of The Princess and the Frog, if you've ever seen that movie, or at least knows Doria. From the more recent animated movie. So if you know that story, this is sort of similar. So it's kind of giving me that vibes, even though it's not set in Louisiana, it's set in Philly. So I'm getting very good vibes from this book. I'm roughly around 100 pages in, and it's just a little shy of 400 pages, so I could potentially finish it this weekend. I might not. If not, it hopefully should be finished by Monday, because I got an email earlier today saying that my pre-order has shipped, and I'm hyped for that book. My first ever pre-order of a book that I knew I had to get my hands on. I don't care that I spent $20 on the book. I'm going to read it, apparently. So I'll tell you when I get it. But so far, those are my updates so far. I don't know how often I'll update you guys tomorrow, but hopefully I'll also try to update you guys with some more other clips as opposed to what's going on. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Hello there, you guys. So it is currently about 11:39 a.m. on Sunday, and I figured I would just give you guys a reading update because I was able to get some reading done yesterday. I think the last clip that I made for you guys, I was making myself a cup of coffee. I kind of like to do that in the afternoon here if I'm at home. Just kind of just make an afternoon cup of coffee. So that was really nice. It was really nice, good cup of coffee. It was I made a latte type thing, so that was good. So I kind of show you guys my coffee process. I actually haven't had coffee yet today, so that's kind of interesting. It's still the weekend, it's Sunday. And then after I made that cup of coffee, I essentially did what's known as, I call it an alternating session. So I essentially just alternated between doing a task and reading. Because I figured it was the afternoon, the day, I figured I would just do it that way, and I would take time to actually do the things and not get too overwhelmed. I also picked garden vegetables yesterday afternoon because my mother asked us to. This weekend, I forgot to film it. There will be more opportunities for me to film picking in her garden, so stay tuned for that. As to how much reading I got done yesterday, and so far some this morning here. Yesterday I was on page roughly near 100 of With the Fire and High. I am currently on page 216. So I've done quite a fair bit of reading today, and I did fair bit of reading yesterday. I read just a little over 100 pages, so that's nice. I'm hoping to try to maybe get to page 300 today. I think I can do that. I could reach and try to maybe finish the book, but that might not happen. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to just the weekend here still today. It is currently Sunday, which means it's still the weekend. So what have I done this morning? This morning, I finished doing up the peas that I picked yesterday. I finished putting those up and I blanched them. I did bathroom chores. I'm currently giving a vlog update, and I'm about to go put laundry on within probably the next 20 minutes or so. I'm going to probably put laundry on. So it's nice. We have leftover pizza tonight. We'll probably do. That'll be a nice dinner. Be a nice lunch, do leftover pizza. Doing tasks this way here at home is kind of nice because I'm able to fit in reading with it, especially when it gets towards maybe. Yeah, it's actually really rainy and wet here today, which is kind of nice. I really like that weather because it's good for reading. But let's give you guys like a book update and tell you how I'm feeling about this book. I'm really liking this book so far. It's really delicious. No, that doesn't mean the book's really good. This book's actually about food. So every time like they mention food and it sounds really good, I get a little bit hungry. So that's what I mean. The book is delicious. It's about food. It's a contemporary, it's set in a city that I've been to before. It's also about a culture that I really like. I'm excited to see how it ends. Even though I think I know how it's going to end, it's probably going to end wholesome, which is kind of what I kind of want right now, because probably the next book I read might not end as wholesome. So that's life right now. Currently, this is actually the third book I've read for the month, and we're not even halfway through the month yet. So, I've done more reading within this past couple of weeks, which is kind of nice. Like, I kind of want to spend my weekends reading and my evenings reading more and doing stuff, so that's kind of nice. This is probably why I'm going to try to wake up early. Next week, I don't know. I might kick it to 7 till we'll see. So anyways, that's going to be it for my update right now. I'll talk to you guys later. Hello there, you guys. So it is currently Monday. I know I didn't end the vlog for this weekend, but I wanted to do it with something special since I knew this was coming in the mail today. I have a very important package here to open. It is book mail. At least, hopefully, it's book mail. Apparently, it weighs 2 pounds. That's interesting if it's book mail. Yeah, so this is actually a pre-order. It's the actual first time I've ever, pre-ordered something. Won't be my last. Won't be my last. I can guarantee you that. This book, will I finish it in one night? Absolutely not. And that's also because I don't want to either. I'll tell you about this once I get this open. The box is a pain. Oh, wow. You weren't kidding, my dear. You weren't kidding. Alright. So, this is a pre-order of Any Way the Wind Blows by Rainbow Rowell. It is the third book in the Simon and Baz trilogy that she's wrote. It is quite a chunker. This book has the most pages, 500, technically 572 pages, but there's an epilogue. We're in Canada. That's a lot for a book. It is not more than, I was going to say the fifth Harry Potter book. It is definitely not as big as that one, but for this series it is the biggest, which makes sense, it's the last. The author has stated that there will be more in the series. I have read the blurb before, and I'm not actually going to read the blurb for you guys because it's spoilers. So yes, very, very excited to read this up, which also brings me to another point, is this book is actually my most anticipated release so far for 2021. And because it's my most anticipated release, and I love this series so much, I'm going to do a dedicated vlog to this series. So we're going to push some content out for this. So be ready for this week to receive more updates from me. I'll try to update probably every 100 pages or so. It's going to be spoiler free because I don't really like when people post spoiler vlogs. It's like, well, great a minute. Well, great. No, I don't want to read it anyways. But yes, I do want to read this book spoiler-free, so therefore my review vlog will be spoiler-free. As you can probably tell by the title, it is based semi off of a song I have number 1, which I've already read and gave it 5 stars. And I read book 2 last month and also gave it 5 stars. So this is a 5-star prediction. It is my most anticipated release. I am reading this book for favorite author because I've read 3 other books by this author and given them both 5 stars. So I'm expecting this to be a 5-star read. I may or may not also be expecting to cry my heart out. I'm looking forward to reading it very much so. And to wrap up with this reading vlog, I should tell you, where I got up to in my reading. Because I did read some today at work, because that's what I like to do on my lunch break. Because I'm currently on page 324 of With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, which means I'm about 80-some% into the book, which is pretty good. So I will still try to finish that this week, but it's going to be put on the back burner, and it's going to be like a reread for this. Am I still liking With the Fire on High? Yes, got to, it's reading a lot like a contemporary would, and which is why I'm kind of really enjoying it, how it's reading. I really like the writing style. The mentions of food is immaculate. I'm looking forward to finishing this book. I've watched some other people read this book and they've really enjoyed it. And so far, I'm seeing what they're seeing, and yeah, I like it too. With 80%, it's most likely going to be somewhere between a 4 and a 5-star, probably more in the 4-star end. But yeah, we'll hopefully finish it. I'm sorry I wasn't able to finish it this weekend, but You know, sometimes that's how it is. But I did get up to over 300 pages, and the book is almost 400 pages, so I am almost done with the book. So, which makes for a good reading weekend vlog. So, that is going to be it for my video. Please give this video a like and a subscribe. Comment down below what your reading plans for this weekend were. And if you don't want to comment anything, but just let me know that you're here, then comment down below a book emoji. And remember, we are the one within the all.